Samir,
Like,
I want to emphasize the point. I think here, if you don't mind,
yes, please.
um, this is where the human in the loop can add value. Okay, because, and I know that you're doing this for demonstration purposes, but as Gene was saying, how we actually set up, even with using an AI agent, we're still rooted in classic patent attorney prosecution principles. That how we train it, what we feed it, how we, and the way that I think of it as micro-sized bites of information, still, even crafting the agent, you're still going to take that principle. And in that way, when you direct it to the right information, train it up, give it context, and add a lot of strong direction, you're going to cut in a direction that's actually going to lead to a better quality result. And in the less direction that you provide the tool, the less, the more likely that it won't actually hit on exactly what you need. Now, the agents are a powerful tool, but I do believe that we still need to make sure that we're training it properly. And I know that this was a quick example. Um,
Yes.
there was a
So
question
let
asked
me,
earlier about commercialization. I just want to break that down. What I meant by saying that is when you think about the word commercialization, it's a very broad topic. That might mean different things to different people. What you need to do is bring in not just technical detail from what's in the marketplace, right? Not just the what's on sale, what's in the prior art, and can I get a claim? That's just sort of the basic stuff level, right? The next level is, can you bring in business intelligence? Can you bring in information that a CFO or CEO would know about the industry, a product manager, and bring that in and actually start using that in conjunction with your prior detail to help shape those questions that are being asked in the AI agents. And that's what the AI agents now aren't limited themselves to just patent data. You can bring in other useful information as well. So that's where we go back to the focus and the human in the loop. But I'm going to be, again, the arbiter of the human in the loop, because that to me is where these tools are powerful. My example is, you have a Formula F1 race car, and everyone's going really fast. Ultimately, somebody's going to win. What's the difference is the human in the loop. So sorry, Samir, I just wanted to bring that as a point.
yeah, no, I think some of the points you made are amazing, right? So if you think about it, like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, when Gen AI became kind of usable, uh, we were in this model where we were kind of writing these long prompts and chain of thought and reasoning and so on, right? And that was primarily written by technology companies, people like us who are sort of bringing teams of experts together and coordinating the whole thing, because the models were difficult to use and the agents were not very smart, right? Today it's different. Today these tools, you can compose them, you can combine them to make your own adventure, to build your own adventure. So one part of it is, you can decide at this point like what you want the agent to do. In my case, the examples that I set were very broad examples, right, where I just gave very high level instructions and it figured out. But you can be much more specific. You can say, okay, first you go and do this landscape analysis, then pause, wait for me to pick the areas that I want to pick. And then you pick those areas that you want to deep dive in. You can then probe, you can ask questions like we did on the chatbot. You can ask questions like, explain to me, really, is this a white space? Let's go into the details of all the SpaceX or Tesla patent applications that we came across. Let's go into the details. You can really, really hammer the system, and you can then craft it. You can mold it to your own workflows, to your own style, right? So now you can use IP Author as a tool to build a patent practice that is unique to you and your clients. And you can customize it on a per client basis, on a per product division basis, on a per application basis, if you will, right? So it gives you a lot more control. At the same time, you can also put in very clear-cut QA points, right? So you can let it go, do its work, and then keep things ready for you to QA at various milestones, so that now you are supervising it. Again, we don't have enough time to go through all the various ways in which these technologies can be used. My goal today was to just make sure that everybody in the community knows that we also have the same sophisticated tools that every coder is going gaga over, right? Every software developer is going gaga over. We have the exact same tools. We have the exact same capabilities for us using, our platform. So that's what I wanted to communicate.